Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us here for another edition of our 10 Weather Impact Show here on your Monday afternoon. It's been a pretty quiet Monday. We've had sunshine here, but things are going to be changing. I'm meteorologist Aaron White, and we'll be looking at the forecast here as we are tracking our next weather maker arriving here going into tomorrow. And that's going to bring some rain, but there is potential that we could see a brief time of a wintry mix of some rain and snow. Likely not going to cause any significant impacts, but there could be some more impacts further to the north, especially around the I-80 corridor, where they could actually see some accumulation up around Toledo, Cleveland as we go into the day tomorrow. So we are watching that here again in your 10 weather impact forecast. Let's go ahead and look at the next 7 days. I want to start off with this and just kind of give you an overview of what we are tracking here as we go through, really going into tomorrow and going into the rest of the week, as we are going to be seeing quite a bit of an active pattern here setting up, going again through really the next several days. And bear with me just for one moment. Graphic is loading here. There we go. As we are talking about the sunshine for today, 48 degrees for a high temperature here this afternoon. And then looking ahead to Tuesday, this is our next weather maker that's going to arrive here and bring us rain mostly and potential for a brief time of a wintry mix of some rain and some snow here around 8 o'clock in the morning. Then that clears out as our temperatures warm back up and then becomes pretty much all rain here for central and southern Ohio. Further north, Cleveland to Toledo and up into Michigan, they could be talking about some accumulation here as we go through tomorrow. So that is our next weather maker. And then eventually we are going to be tracking another one leading up to Friday. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But meanwhile, for now, yeah, it's pretty nice out there. We got the sun shining and winds are lighter, much lighter than they were yesterday. It was breezy all day. We got up into the low 50s. But the wind kind of made it feel a bit colder. And now our temperatures are actually colder, but thankfully, we don't have as much wind. There is still a breeze, about 12 miles per hour right now. So with the temperature at 47, feels like it's about 42, and it's going to get even colder going into tonight. Briefly getting closer to freezing here overnight. As you can see, our temperature trend around 48 this afternoon, and then we drop into the 40s, lower 40s, and eventually down into the upper 30s. And we'll kind of level out there here tonight around the lower to middle 30s as clouds increase across the area. So because our temperatures won't get below freezing tonight, that's going to be kind of our saving grace. If we had temperatures down below freezing, all the pavement, the sidewalks, everything would get temperatures colder than freezing. So once that rain starts falling here in the morning, it could turn into ice pretty quickly. That would be the concern right now. But so far, all the indications that we have at the moment is that temperatures are going to warm up. So there would be a brief window where we could see some slippery conditions. But just like we had with that snow, the roads got a little slushy, but they were mostly wet as our temperatures were around and above that 32-degree mark. So we're watching that here for you tomorrow morning and going to keep tabs on it as we go through the next 24 hours. But meanwhile, the radar picture, not tracking anything here locally, but we are tracking some more active weather to our east, up around the Great Lakes, of course, Lake Erie and Ontario. Gather winds out of the northwest, so we're getting that lake effect snow happening there, really around just areas east of here across western parts of New York and into northern Pennsylvania. And then you go back to the east around Syracuse, Elmira, seeing a few flurries there, and over towards Albany. That's all staying away from us. We don't have to worry about anything with that. But we are tracking our next weather maker here, already building out into the Central Plains. And this is an area of low pressure that is starting to build up some rain showers here into Iowa, back into South Dakota, even potential for a couple of rumbles of thunder. But as this interacts with some colder air in place here across the upper Midwest in Minnesota and Wisconsin, that's going to lead to potential for them to see some snow. And of course, with colder air in place here tomorrow morning, we have to watch for that, a rain-snow mix briefly and then quickly just turning to all rain here as we go through the day. So let's go through this hour by hour here as we are tracking clear skies for the rest of this evening. Overnight, we start to see the clouds building in, maybe a brief chance for a flurry, nothing major here tonight. Clouds continue to overspread the area, and here we are 7 o'clock in the morning, and notice a lot of kind of scattered colors here on the map, indicating that we'll see some rain and potentially a couple areas of maybe a flurry, rain-snow mix briefly. And then as we head towards 9 o'clock, it's all rain. It's green, yellow, moderate rainfall potential here as we go through the latter morning hours. And then by midday, yeah, all rain here across central Ohio. Further to the north and east, that would be areas where we have concerns into northeastern Ohio, where there would be a rain-snow mix, potential for some icing and some snow accumulation closer to the Cleveland metro. That all clears out, and then everyone sees the rain through the afternoon as we will see temperatures up into the 40s. And then notice here, after, by the evening hours, we're starting to see some more rain, heavy rain potential, and maybe even a rumble of thunder. Not out of the question here by the evening hours. That all clears out for Tuesday night, and then we're looking at quiet conditions here for Wednesday and Thursday before we track our next weather maker. Kind of an active pattern that's really setting up here across the country, as we are already seeing active weather across California, the West Coast, and all the systems. They have to go somewhere. They're going to build out across the country and lead to more potential for rain here again tomorrow. Another round of rain on Friday, and even more chances with more systems building in as we head into the week of Thanksgiving. Right now, too early to tell how Thanksgiving travel will set up, but it is something we're monitoring here as we start to get more data coming in here to 10 TV. Now, as we go through tomorrow, again with potential rainfall, most amounts north of I-70 are going to be on the lighter side, and there will be that chance further north, Bucyrus, Mansfield, and especially up to the Cleveland area, where some of it's going to be snow. Around here, central, southern Ohio, I-70 south, half an inch to 1 inch of rainfall, not out of the question. So some good moisture and really going to help with still some dry conditions in areas. Really what we need to see is a lot of the rain further into the northwestern part of the state, where they still have moderate to severe drought conditions. So we are watching that here with rain expected in the forecast again through tomorrow. And then we catch a break Wednesday and Thursday, and notice our temperatures actually start to rebound behind that system. We warm up quickly to 51 on Wednesday, 56 on Thursday, but it's going to come with a lot of cloud cover, so not necessarily a nice day to be outside, but it's not going to be bad. It would be nice to have a little bit more sunshine like we have today, but it's going to be a cloudier day. It's not going to be too windy, so winds are going to be less than 15 miles per hour, so at least that helps. But there will be cloudy skies and maybe a brief chance for a shower. Better chance of rain will arrive Thursday night into the day on Friday, and we're talking about some fairly widespread rain here through the morning hours, and this is around midday, early afternoon, that we continue to see the rain really focus then across central and southern Ohio. So some more rain, of course, is in the forecast leading up to the end of the work week. And then by the weekend, things do dry out. We're only keeping it at about 10 to 20% chance for a stray rain shower as we get some of that cool air building in behind the system, and maybe a shower. But really looking at dry conditions here for Saturday and then Sunday. And then after the 7-day forecast, this is the extended outlook going into the week of Thanksgiving, where we are tracking above normal temperatures. So that means temperatures likely for highs in the 50s, if not potential for some 60s once again. But usually when we get these warm-ups up into the 60s like we see on Friday, it comes with some more active weather. So that would be also a concern, as the outlook for precipitation is also trending a little bit higher than normal. So that could mean some more active weather, of course, around Thanksgiving. Whether that's before or after, that's still to be determined. But just note, if you're planning Thanksgiving travel, there could be some active weather somewhere in the Midwest, potentially in the South. So if you're traveling by plane or if you're driving anywhere, just keep an eye on the forecast. Still early to tell what's going to happen around that time. This is more than 10 days out. But we're watching it here for you as each day goes by and start to gather some more information about how things are going to shape up going into the week of Thanksgiving. But otherwise, the 7-day forecast, again, a couple chances for rain here tomorrow and then again on Friday. So we are watching that, of course, and how things are going to play out with the forecast, especially tomorrow. That's our biggest day of any concern, mainly because we have that chance for a quick chance for a wintry mix here going into the morning hours, and then really just all rain here after about, I would say, 9 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty much all rain from there on out. So 6, 7, 8 o'clock, that would be that brief window where we would see a wintry mix, potential for some slippery conditions. So just keep that in mind if you're traveling tomorrow morning, heading to work. Just take it slow just in case we have some of that wintry weather. If it's coming down as rain, of course, still take it slow as visibility could be reduced and roads will get a little bit slippery. So just be aware of some ponding on the roadways to avoid any hydroplaning here as we go through the day with that rain in the forecast. So that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. Now take a look at this.
3, 2, 1, ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go Sentinel-6B.
So that was the rocket launch here just over the weekend of the Falcon 9 rocket that was carrying the Sentinel-B 6B satellite, lifted off from the Falcon 9 rocket there at Space Launch Complex in Vandenberg Space Force Base. And this occurred just Sunday evening. And the Sentinel-6B is an Earth-observing satellite jointly developed by NASA, the U.S., and other European partners. And it will observe the ocean and measure sea level rise to provide insights into our planet that will improve weather forecasts and flood predictions, safeguard public safety, and protect coastal infrastructure. So really cool to see that rocket launch there with the satellite that is now going into orbit. And finally today, before we go here, let's check out some new video in here, as been some interesting things happening in other parts of the world. This is from Japan, where a volcano actually erupted on Japan's major western island of Kyushu, and that erupted multiple times over the weekend, sending a plume of ash as high as 2 to 3 miles into the air, causing dozens of flight cancellations. And it's one of Japan's more active volcanoes, with eruptions varying levels taking place regularly. And in 2019, one of the eruptions actually spewed ash as high as almost over 3 miles into the air. So of course, pretty dramatic video there. This is actually sped up, kind of a time lapse there, showing that eruption there in Japan just over the weekend. Meanwhile, a little bit closer to home, in California, winter storm prompted authorities to issue chain control orders for travelers heading over into the higher elevations around Interstate 80 Sunday morning, as heavy snowfall fell into parts of the Sierra Nevada mountains and the Southern Cascades, and also not even just the heavy snow there in California, but heavy rainfall. Some of the highest amounts of rainfall in the Los Angeles metro area in more than 40 years, as that actually caused a lot of flooding in the southern parts of California, not around just Los Angeles, but also into San Diego and other areas in Southern California, with, of course, what you see there in the video, the higher elevations getting some of that snow, leading to parts of the interstate having snow-covered roadways until temperatures warmed up and things got into a little bit better conditions out there across parts of California. So thankfully, we are not seeing any snow like that here. We already had our round of snow back last week, and we could see a little bit of that wintry mix here going into tomorrow morning. Not going to cause any major problems here as we go into your Tuesday. But of course, we're watching it here for you on 10 TV, but we're also watching the rain here through the day. And of course, the chance coming up here as we head into our Friday. So that'll do it for us here today on the 10 Weather Impact Show. Thank you for joining us here on 10 TV Plus. Coming up later on this evening, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be in with the latest on the rain potential tomorrow, but of course the rain as we head into Friday as well. So until then, you can always catch more news and weather online at 10tv.com.